coaching channel. This is Coach Kayla, and today I want to talk about the boring work. I've talked about this before, but I wanted to bring it to new light because a client of mine actually asked me directly if, well, this is how she phrased the question. So we were talking about her workouts and how well she's doing, and she said, can we switch the workouts so that I only do the same ones for 3 weeks? Because I'm worried that doing them 4 weeks is going to make me bored of them. Now, when you jump into our program, not always, but oftentimes, we usually do workouts in 4-week blocks because we do like a progressive overload type thing where you have 2 weeks. The workouts get progressively harder in some way, shape, or form. And then you have a deload week, and then you get a brand new block of workouts, okay? I work out this way. Most people do the same workouts for 4 to 6 weeks before switching, and then overload the system in some way, shape, or form, either increasing the reps, increasing the number of sets, obviously increasing the weight. There's lots of different ways to do it, okay? But she was worried that if she didn't switch it up enough, she was going to get bored and then not be as consistent with it. And so we kind of dove in to where that came from. Like, why did she get bored of it? What causes that? That kind of stuff. And she basically, everything she has done, I want to preface this by saying she has done our program in the past, and this is her second round doing the program, okay? When she first jumped into the program, in her mind, she was going to do it for 6 months. She was going to lose the weight, accomplish this specific goal, which she did accomplish. And then in a way, she was going to be done. Okay. And this is a problem that I see a lot of people do, is that they jump into something with the idea that they're going to accomplish a goal. They go out, they usually accomplish it, and then they stop doing everything that they've been doing in order to accomplish the goal because the goal has been accomplished, right? And when my entire goal of my program is to kind of flip all of that on its head, and we want to focus on the day-to-day habits and mindset and things that you need to do to achieve the goal, but we're not focusing on achieving the goal, we're focusing on doing the things, okay? And so obviously the first time that we did it with her, I would say that I failed at making sure that she was focusing on the right thing, okay? And so when I used to see this in the gym all the time too. So anyway, how do you not get bored? Honestly, I think it's recognizing that it's okay that it's boring, because we live in a world where we are constantly entertained, okay? And it's okay for workouts to be boring. It's okay for your food to be boring. It's okay. I don't know where this comes from, where like everyone needs 18 new recipes a week because they don't want to be bored of their food. And why do you need 18 new workouts? You don't. Okay. What's funny is when I own the gym, we had this boot camp instructor. She's amazing. She's an amazing boot camp instructor. Okay. She could come up with the funnest workouts, the most creative workouts ever. Do you know what's funny about all of those fun, creative workouts? They're all essentially the same. I mean, like the movements are the same. You're still doing push-ups. You're still doing jumping jacks. You're still doing sit-ups. You're still doing movements. But because she put some flair and some pizzazz into it, it all of a sudden wasn't boring. And you could do that too if you wanted to, but like ultimately what it comes down to is you need a push movement, you need a pull movement, you need abs, stability, mobility. Like that's what you need. You need a push day, you need a pull day, you need a leg day. Done. Like that's it. And we overcomplicate it because we don't want to get bored, right? When you eat food, all you need is protein, vegetables, healthy carbs, fruits, drink enough water. You don't need these fancy schmancy recipes. You don't. But we feel like we do. And so when I had the gym, we had to like, what's the word, manufacture this funness in order for people to continue, right? And that was like our whole goal, was how do we make it fun? How do we make it exciting? We had challenges all the time, and people would jump into the challenges and they'd kick butt, right? And it was really funny because we'd have members that were like semi-consistent, like maybe they'd come 1 or 2 times a week, and then we'd run a challenge. All of a sudden they'd show up every day because they wanted to win, right? But if they would just go into life with that attitude and show up every day trying to win at life, it would, I mean, the problem would be solved, right? Instead of just jumping into a challenge. And I get that challenges are exciting and it's way more fun and all that stuff. But at the very bottom level, you need to realize that if you only can lose weight, or you can only be consistent when you're doing a challenge, or you sign up for some program for 12 weeks or 6 months or even a year, like hopefully by the end of a year, you are just, it's like ingrained in you and these things are now habits, you know? But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Like some people genuinely look at it as a finish line, and you can't, right? Help, there is no finish line with help. You have to continue with it. So, and unfortunately, if you are one of those people who you can jump into programs and jump into something for 6, 8, 12 weeks and dominate it, right? That does not make you a healthy person. In fact, I would argue that you are a very unhealthy person, because you cannot figure out how to create the habits on a day-to-day basis outside of a challenge, right? In fact, we had a guy that would jump into challenges. He would win all the time because he could drop weight like crazy, and he would show up and he would work out, and then he would work out at home, and he would like do all this crazy stuff in order to win the challenge, but he always gained it back every time. And part of me, honestly, like, it's almost like he wanted to gain it back so that he could win again, which, right? Like, that's not okay. And so, to kind of like put it into a different perspective, if you think about a business, okay? And so, I mean, I'm obviously in business, but like, let's say a hairstylist, right? If the hairstylist does not have consistent clients day in and day out because they haven't taken the time to build the foundation of having these consistent clients, and the only time they actually get clients is when they run exciting promotions, they don't have a business. They know how to make money, but they don't have a business. And there are that's two very different things, right? They know how to get like clients on a promotion, but they don't know how to keep them. And so they don't really have a business. So if you are really good at going into challenges and winning, or losing weight really fast in 6 weeks when you have to, or whatever, but you're not good at just working out every single day and eating right every single day, or for the most part, right? If you're not good at doing those things, then you're not a healthy person, right? If you're good at doing crash diets and losing weight, but you can't maintain it because you just do it for 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 or 8 or however long it takes in order to lose the weight, you're not a healthy person. You know how to lose weight. Two very different things, right? Two very different things. And one of my mentors used to say, do the boring work. Like it was like a what do they call them? Like a core value of their company, right? Was do the boring work. And so like in business and in life, it's okay for it to be boring. In fact, if it is boring, that means you're probably doing it right, because you're doing the same thing day in and day out, and you're making it happen regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether or not you're motivated. You just do it, boring or not, because you know it's the right thing to do to move the needle forward and to become the person you need to be. And there's a big difference between making something exciting so that you can stick with it, right, which is okay, and only jumping in when it's exciting. Okay? You can gamify anything, but only jumping in because it's exciting and it's a game is not good, right? In fact, I would say that's why I have worked out so consistently over the last 2.5 years. Yeah, because I started working out. Well, I mean, I've worked out consistently before that, but I was pregnant, and anyway, life, life. There you go. But as soon as I got the okay to work out again, I hired a coach. Yes, I have a coach. And we've figured out different goals for me. Like I ran Spartan races. This year I started powerlifting. Like I can gamify my workouts in that I have specific goals I'm trying to achieve at that moment, right? But the actions are still the same. I get up, I do my workout, I eat my food, I maintain my weight, all that stuff, right? And so if you are struggling with being bored of your workouts or bored of the food, maybe you need to find a new goal, like just a short term, like something that you can work towards that's not just weight loss, because at a certain point you can't lose any more weight, right? So the goal should be like run a marathon, run a half marathon, train for this specific event, train for, whatever. And so just look at it that way. Gamify it in the ways that you can without being so focused on succeeding at weight loss. And then it doesn't have to be exciting. If it's boring, you're probably doing it right. Okay. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will chat with you all next time.